on our live Facebook page, because this program is being streamed live on our Facebook fan page. So join us on the program. On the team this evening, Michael Olatunbosun is here. Hello, Michael.
Good evening, Seun. Good evening to Dayo and everybody with us here in the studio. Good evening to all of you who are listening and watching wherever you are.
We miss you on the pitch.
Yes. I was playing the match in my mind.
You're playing in your mind. I know.
In the
always play in your mind. And Dayo Gumbawale is here this evening. Hello, Dayo.
Always a pleasure. So Michael might be the 12th man on that
pitch. We missed him. We thought he was going to come around.
Well, you got a goal, so goodwill.
Thank you so much. So let's dive into the issues very quickly without wasting time. Dayo, I'm coming to you quickly. Let's look at the reasons for these southern governors coming together. Did you see this coming? One that could have thought that because of security issue, they came together to deal with southern issues, particularly from the southwest. They were together, and then we had what they call Amotekun, and thereafter, the move across the Niger somehow began to woo one another. And then you have these southern governors. What does this say to you?
One thing is clear. Despite all efforts by governors, whether from the south, from the southeast, especially the southwest, that brought to the fore Amotekun, it clearly is not working. Yes, it's not working. Just a day or two ago, full bus load was, kidnapped. There was a kidnap story from, I think, Osun State, not too far from here. Almost every day, there will be gunshots, attacks here in Ibadan, in your state. Don't talk about, let's not even go to Lagos. I belong to a number of WhatsApp groups where there are several guys who live almost every night. The Lekki axis, and before you know it, so it clearly is not working. Southeast is another major problem, So I think these guys are beginning to look within that. Clearly we have a common problem. And no matter how we try to go about it, we need a political solution to whatever is going on. Yes. And they are beginning to see that if you call yourself APC, I call myself PDP, we will not get solution. We need to come together and get a solution here. Unfortunately, it appears the northern part of Nigeria seems to be reading politics to everything, and they may not be wrong. Really, they may not be wrong. Why am I saying this? I listened to Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, and for me, in all that speech, I picked one thing. Aside from the fact that, we want presidency to come down south, all those talking points. For me, the major talking point which will ruffle any feather politically, especially up north today, is the decision to continue to hold that meeting in Lagos. It looks like, what's the big deal? It means a lot. A lot. For those who know and those who care to know or who may not pay attention, the Tinubu mantra and all that, and then this, how come all these governors just decided to agree?
So it was strategic.
It was, for me, I think it was strategic, and to a very large extent, the seeming northern political elites feel threatened by that how could these guys agree? Now they have agreed to come together and they are agreeing to one location. For God's sake, we know some people who might even be in APC, they are against the establishment, in quotes. And then you see, a Wike coming and smiling with, nobody will be happy. I'm serious. The average political elite up north will not be happy. I'll end with this. There's this program on, I think, was it Channel TV? Yeah, I think so. They brought this man. He's not a member of the APC. I think ADP or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
The way he spoke, you could read some meanings. And of course, there are certain people that when they write, you can almost tell that somebody is behind it. There's a popular guy, he's a journalist, Gimba Kakanda. When I read his post in the last 1-2 days, I could tell what is going on. these guys are not happy. But then you wrote something, and it got me thinking. You have to go do some Google search and like, oh boy, this is true. That the southern governors never thought to come together all this while. You know, and we've been hearing northern governors from, it was like it's a normal thing. But that the southern governors could come together and decide that they want to meet now. And they are agreeing now. I think it calls for concern in the villa.
Okay. Now, Michael, I like you to look at, I know you had you're thinking about it, your thoughts, but what is the North afraid of? Particularly with this kind of coming together of the southern governors. It seems every reaction, whether it's the coalition of northern groups or it is another forum or the ACF, everything has been that there is a gang up against the North. But all this while that the Northern Governors Forum have been meeting, I've never heard the Southern governors, not even one of them, say there's a gang up against the South.
Okay, so it looks like you and Seun and Dayo, there are some things you know that we don't know. Oh. Really, based on the nuances that you were passing across the table. So I was, but you see, the way I'd like to start is, I wrote a poem about these people, and it's just one sentence. I said it's a parade of uncoordinated anger against logic. That's what you have. That's the vibe that is coming from the North. Because the question you asked me is, should this gathering bother those in the North?
Should they be afraid?
Why should anybody be afraid of the fact that I am protecting myself against the incursions of bandits? Why should that be? Why should anybody come out openly on national television and say that, okay, so if I decide to, increase the height of my fence and increase the height of my gate, why should it be a problem for anybody? The fact that some governors are saying we want to pass a law that will prohibit open grazing, why should it be a threat to anybody? The fact that some people are saying we would desire that the president be zoned to our region, why should that be a problem? Indeed, if it is about service to fatherland, why should anybody be jittery over the fact that some people think that some things need to be done at certain ways? It bothers me that some people are bothered, some people are bothered by their own safety. It's something
so that some people are bothered. That other people are bothered about their own safety.
Yes, I think that we should begin to look into the minds of people who aspire to office in this nation as to why exactly are they aspiring to office. Why is it that the herdsmen, the bandit herdsmen, or if you like, the armed herdsmen or the killer herdsmen that are terrorizing, places across the nation, it's not just about the South. But when the Southern governors sit down and think that, okay, maybe when we stop cattle from moving indiscriminately, maybe we'll be able to mitigate the prevalence of killings between herdsmen and farmers. Why should that be a problem?
Okay, now I am looking into the lecture that we had yesterday, In Search of a Nigerian Dream.
That lecture
by Professor Adesina. Now, on page 18 of that lecture, Professor Adesina began to talk about inherited dichotomies and divisions.
Yeah.
And he said something that in 1914, Frederick Lugard amalgamated the northern and southern protectorates to form a single administrative unit. I recall that you also went to read Lugard's document.
Lugard's report, yes.
Yes. And he said the British colonial administration then engendered a process of political control that coordinated administrative, commercial, and military activities in the new colony. Now, wait for this.
That statement.
They never tried to unite the people as they had united the administrative units.
So what you have is, if you go down there, it says that what you have is two Nigerias.
Yes. That was the conclusion.
So you have northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria. But 1914 is over 100 years. I thought that we should have healed. I thought that we should have both sat together to say, okay, So we know that it was not something that we consented to in the first instance. But can we make it work? So why has it been difficult for us to, extricate ourselves from these, trappings of ethnic, religious, divisions? Why are we not thinking? Okay, so you see, everybody was making allusion to the United Kingdom, where you have the Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. All of them are living, in their different countries, and then they have one unified, they have one center where they have the Parliament, they have the House of Commons, and the rest of it. You still have them. So why is it that we cannot live that way? So if you are going to, whether you are going to Scotland or whatever, it is still the British visa that you get. So, it's funny, even when the Vice President, who is senior advocate of Nigeria, was saying that if we divide now, if you want to go to Kano, you will need visa. Does it need visa to move from London to Glasgow? These are simplistic, arguments that we should not even be having in the 21st century. We should look for a way of making things work. See, if we cannot sit down, by the occasion of agreement to say, okay, why don't we do it this way? If it's been very difficult, and it has been very difficult indeed, then let's see, okay, until we can find a way to go our own ways, our separate ways without, any war. Let's continue to mend this relationship and make it work, at least for the benefit of our children, except if we're not thinking about the future.
Maybe we are not. We'll be back in a moment. Let's stay with us.
Tolu, báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Ó jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣèkáfá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti tasọ́sán ẹ̀ lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló sè é. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fádùn àti tasọ́sán tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person, but life is just a knock me boost. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to recover. If it ever walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe, say, I go surely prosper. It don't get that see one be. We move.
No matter what they say, we move.
Whatever life brings, we move. Turn up your dreams. MTN, everywhere you go.
Greg, you want to buy cough medicine again? Why haven't you gone for a test like I advised?
Test? So that the hospital people will say I have COVID-19? No.
How about Greg? Not all coughs mean you have COVID-19. COVID-19 cough and symptoms are different from other illnesses like tuberculosis.
Solomon, why don't you ever stay at your post? Why?
Oga, this your cough. You need to check Amo. When I had a bad cough, Madam told me to go for tuberculosis test. After the cough syrups didn't work, they discovered I had tuberculosis. After the free test, I was even treated for free. Now I'm fine.
Solomon is right. Oga Greg, check Amo. Make you dey sure. Because who no go, no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check 'em all, make you dey sure.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB tests, TB treatments are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 for information on where to get the test. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
Every day we dey grind, traffic everywhere. The hustle must continue, but not on an empty stomach.
Try the new Gala Classic today. It's bigger, meatier, and tastier. All for 100 Naira only. Gala Classic. More to fuel your hustle.
Did you know chronic stress from work or lifestyle habits may result in fatigue, headaches, and pains? Stress reduces the body's ability to fight diseases, leaving you vulnerable. Your day will be much better knowing you have the right immune support to help you combat symptoms of stress. Immune Active is a premium blend of high-strength vitamin C, zinc, and selenium that helps prevent recurring diseases, improves skin radiance, and boosts confidence. Activate your immune system today with Immune Active. Available at any leading pharmacy store near you and online at oaklifevitamins.com.
Take it back to the old school classics on Splash 105.5 FM with Luminary DJ Eden. Every Saturday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. We'll throw you all the way back to the 90s, 80s, and as far back as the 60s. We'll bring you juju, reggae, disco, new jack swing, and many more. Right here on Splash 105.5 FM. Every Saturday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. The Splash Vintage Sounds.
My people, better don land. Make una come see ogbonge cable wey dem manufacture for we obodo Nigeria. Na Pure Cables. Pure Cables na correct electrical cable wey dey reliable, dependable, and the people wey dem make am call dey safety conscious. Pure Cables get original copper and aluminium cable for different sizes dem wey you fit use for electrical wiring level for anywhere. Whether na your house, abi na your office, the price nko e no dey tear pocket at all. Nationwide distribution don start. For more information, call 0808-030-3257. 0808-030-3257. Pure Cable and Wire Limited. They have print compound, 40 gate, 122/132. Also, the Apapa Expressway, Iyano Solo Bus Stop, Lagos. Pure Cables, Nigerian electrical contractors endorse am. SON approval. Pure Cables. Now you be go.
Hey, my guy, imagine say entertainment na serve yourself. Wetin you go carry?
Oh yeah, now put garnish am with BB Naija.
Wow,
add Africa Magic. Then top am with better international shows.
You too like better.
Na so price to enter GoTV don low now for inside Biggie Goals promo. GoTV decoder and GoTenna with 1 month max subscription wey be 9,500 naira before don reduce to 6,900 naira. See discount from 9,500 naira to 6,900 naira. Now you fit enjoy football, BB Naija, and plenty more. Biggie Goals promo now for you. This offer no go tell. GoTV, love it.
You can love learning anywhere, anytime. You can start learning when you decide. Get the best you does to help your kids and brighten the future. Your lesson is the solution for easy learning, no complication. To love learning every day, download the app and learn for free with your lesson. No, you love learning. No, study for why I can echo jump on the go with your lesson. No, you love learning. No, getting better grades is easy. How when you go with you lesson. Oh.
Download on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store. Also available on web at ulesson.com.
Here, Papa Obi. Now what in they shake you again like a leaf? Chai! Sweater and handkerchief never come off from your hands since I married you.
Na code and kata again, oh.
I don't tell you, say make you take Procode, but in the form of big man.
Why Procode, my dear?
Make no wakamis road. Procode get paracetamol and phenylephrine for effective relief from cold and catarrh within 20 minutes.
Mama Obi, I dey campaign now.
Now, Orange Drugs Limited distributor. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Procode, na better medicine.
Take Procode. Take Procode.
Ìrìnàjò ẹ̀ ilẹ̀ haúsá dùn ó jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣìkàfà níbẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ adùn àti tásánṣán ìlú lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló ṣe ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ báwo ló ṣe sè é. ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà òun nìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fádùn àti tásánṣán tó lélẹ̀ dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Splash FM 105.5.
Coming together of the governors of the southern extraction, to me, believe you me, is the very wrong way to go about, issues of politics that affects the whole nation. Because the message here, unfortunately, is like ganging up against the rest of the Nigerians, particularly the north, by state actors who should be the ones that will protect and advance the unity of this country and ensure that all the parts of this country will feel comfortable by whoever end of the day will emerge as the president of this country. But if you go the way you are going and you have all the things listed in the communique or in their meeting, it seems to be a kind of ganging up against the north. When you look at the grazing, you look at the insecurity, you look at the issue of politics 2023, how can we have elected officials, governors for that matter, coming out in this manner to emphasize things that divide us, not talking about things that unite the country? I mean, it beats my imagination. And it's unfortunate that we don't have governors today coming together on issues of principle, that maybe that we are progressives or we want a progressive government in this country, or we belong to a particular ideological leaning and therefore we want to entrench that kind of politics in the country. But what we are hearing is that it's like these governors are not anything better than Igboho or Kanu or any person that is not elected to protect the nation. So I am disappointed, really, to say the least, because
Sani Yabaji, the national chairman of ADP, right there. Michael, he likened the governors to activists.
He's calling the governors bandits. That's essentially what he's trying to say. So because he's saying gang up against, he said the wrong way. He said ganging up against the rest of Nigeria,
twice.
Especially the north. Gang up. So I repeat. Okay, okay. So for the benefit of those who heard me earlier, I want to repeat what I said by not saying it again, because it will just amount to wasting our time. Essentially, what is the interest of this man? The interest, he was saying that they are not progressive by this ganging up. So he wants to define 21st century progressivism by saying that you should allow marauders to take over your farm, to take over your land. Is that what he's saying? So if the government announces that they are going to employ 10,000 policemen again today, so we will go and protest that they are ganging up against us, right? That they want to employ civil defense. Are they ganging up against us by employing more civil defense? Is it not to protect our land? So what exactly is the interest of this man? He should tell Nigerians his own interests, because he was dragging the president into this matter, and the president is not even in the context at all.
There was no point at which a reference was made to the president. At all. I mean, just like those who think for them, I wonder who thought that NSAS was to remove the president. Okay. To the extent that Mr. President had to say that.
It was sold to him.
It's framing.
It was sold to him.
It's framing.
Okay, so the first statement they made was they affirm their commitment to the unity of Nigeria,
non-negotiable,
on the basis of justice, fairness, equity, and oneness, and peaceful coexistence between and among its people.
These are elements that are in the Constitution already. So these governors are just taking this thing out of the Constitution and repeating it to us. So what have they done wrong by saying we want equity, fairness, and justice?
Dayo, they said the meeting resolved that open grazing of cattle be banned across southern Nigeria, and they even offered an ultimatum of September for every member state to put up a law against it. But I remember also that some states in the southwest, even in the southeast, had put a ban
already
on open grazing.
True.
So if you go to Ekiti,
so you recently have Ondo, Ekiti, or even Oyo, exactly.
Even Ogun State is not accommodating open grazing.
Exactly.
So, why do we still want open grazing? I also want you to tie it to what the president said, that we will go back to 1960
3
gazettes
gazettes
and look at the
First Republic Gazette.
the cattle
Grazing
routes and grazing areas.
Let me start this way. For those who may not know, there are certain locations in your state that is already being mapped out by the Federal Minister of Agric. I'm not saying what I think. I'm saying what is happening already.
Yes.
So they're already mapping out certain locations. It does not matter whether it's in the city center.
So if I want to look for a place,
don't say it.
Splash FM, this building.
There's a radio. Let me just help you. There's a radio station in this Ibadan.
It's obstructing.
That is built on a particular location where cattle used to be. I won't mention the radio station. I won't mention. But everybody knows that location. It used to be a major place where people even buy flour, buy this and that. In this Ibadan, as we speak, those locations are being marked.
So, route.
Oh, okay. See, when Mr. President came out with that position, I began to ask myself, okay, if you even want these guys to move around, do we have to throw it in the faces of the governors who have a right to protect their citizens? Did the presidency, in quotes now, ever consider talking to these governors? Did it ever cross the mind of the handlers of Mr. President that can we talk to these guys? For example, the most vocal of them in the Middle Belt, the governor of Benue State, who nearly every week we have to go to a place where they kill several people and they will still talk and lament and lament and lament, and then the normal continues. Has it ever crossed the mind of the major people in this center to call these governors and say, okay, let's assume you don't want open grazing, me I want my people to graze, can we have a middle point? Can we agree?
Can we agree? We're not talking about
it's possible to agree to disagree. Has it ever occurred to anybody in the center to have this up? Because as we speak, even the governor of Kano State, the governor of Kaduna State, these guys have come out openly to say they are against open grazing. It should end.
But they offered you Ruga, you rejected. They offered you National Livestock Program. And it seems that nobody is willing to follow it.
But there are pilot states.
Exactly, that already have the livestock program ongoing.
Even Kano State governor said, we have land for you. So why do you have to force this down the throat of 36 states when some states have already volunteered to play host to this project? Why do you have to force everybody into line? If I'm not favorably disposed to whatever you want to do, you can always take it somewhere else, isn't it? So why is that difficult? And then who says that you have to rear cattle everywhere in Nigeria? After all, Nigeria imports. So those things that we import, are they produced all over the world? They are just produced in one location and then you ship them across and you make your money. Why is the government becoming too interested in private business? Or is it not private business?
By the way, the decision to look back and begin to retrace grazing routes across the nation directly goes against the National Livestock Program.
Yes.
That's just it. Because the livestock program talks about ranching.
Exactly.
I mean, empowering these guys to be together in a particular location, of which economically does not even pay to allow cattle to be roaming about. You will get less meat, less milk.
Less milk,
I mean,
exactly.
So these are basics.
You cannot expand the value chain. You can't expand the value chain.
So, I mean, naturally, you want to ask, okay, what is the need for the presidency? Now, I'm being careful to use that word because if you keep saying the president, we will miss it. It's mostly the presidency that makes decisions in the country today. You want to ask, what is the need for... Mr. President has a ranch. He has cattle. I don't think, I may be wrong, but I do not think that Mr. President's cattle go from Abuja to Ibadan. I don't think so. I do not think so. I do not think so. He goes regularly to Katsina to see his cattle, which means, so that makes me believe he has a ranch.
He has a ranch.
So why not encourage these other brethren or kinsmen in courts to do the same? And that, at least to a very large extent, I keep telling Basesi, except you've not been to a Fulani settlement before, it will be very hard to differentiate one that came from Niger or Mali. It will be very hard. Very, very hard. And the one that came with AK-47 that was already persisting inside the sack, you will not know. You won't know. And so it's easy for them to just come with 10 or 20 cattle and just join a particular settlement, stay there for a while, map up their environment, and start kidnapping people. So the best way is to ensure that they don't get to move around. Get a location for them. Wall it around and let them do their business. I don't think this is rocket science. I don't think so. Okay. Except there's an agenda behind it that we do not know.
Now, let's come to the few other issues, because I know the time is already fast spent. But by way of the news, Senate committee begins screening of Loretta Onoche, others. So she's already in front of the Senate and she's being screened. And she said she's no longer partisan.
Okay. Is she still special assistant on social media?
You can be special assistant without being partisan.
Onoche is a special assistant to the president of social media.
Have you read her tweets? Before they blocked Twitter.
But she said today that she's
no longer partisan.
2019.
Just after the 2019.
I can still get her tweet this year, not last year. This year.
I told Michael 2 weeks ago when we discussed about that.
This year.
You just need to move like 1 or 2, 3 months ago. You will see some tweets.
But why is it difficult for you to give her the benefit of the doubt?
We don't have it.
We are talking about facts here.
We don't have benefit of the doubt.
We don't.
So we can't give her.
Okay, so me, on my own honor as a Nigerian, I believe that she's no more partisan.
She announced the continuous registration in the party.
Okay.
Told people to come and he's on her Twitter and he's there. He's still there.
She's the president's SA social media.
So not the APC SA social media.
You didn't hear that?
She announced that people should come and register. And that is not wrong anyway.
It's not wrong.
But you should own up. Exactly.
To announce that.
Are you sure?
To announce, okay, how would you take it if I go announcing that party ZYP is starting its registration? When I'm not reading the news.
And you are encouraging people to go and register.
Please go and register.
Okay.
All right, so we want to do devil's advocate. I will take a break, but before I take this break, just in 1 minute each, rotational presidency, South, North, is it expedient?
It is. And really, for us to mend this broken Nigeria, we just have to rotate it.
Michael?
For me, I think that you do not ask the best students, the best graduating students in the university to step down because somebody else has to be best graduating student. I believe in competition. Nobody asked Brazil to step down at the World Cup. You go and play. That's my own. Because this rotation gives room for you to crown a mediocre. You say, in the name of South or North, anybody.
Does it have to be Does it have to be anybody? Shouldn't it be a contest amongst the best from that?
Exactly. And can we afford that kind of competition you're talking about now?
Does it have to be mediocres that will come through that process? If we say, let's move to the south, are we saying that
every
only
region has
mediocres
intellectuals?
Or if you say, let us move to the north, is it only mediocre that are in the north?
I just said that I believe in competition.
It was just a question. We'll be back after this time out. Just stay with us. But we have you to join us in a moment. 0809 155 1055. 0805 699 8678 and 0706 949 3000. Do join us as we go on this break.
Tolú, báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Ó jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣèkáfá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti tasọ́sán ìlú lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló ṣe. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fádùn àti tasọ́sán tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Hello, ojú òpó Friesland Campina Wam kò lẹ́jà sí ẹ̀tẹ̀ ọ̀kan láti gbọ́ àgbọ́dún ní ìròyìn. ẹ̀yin tèmi ṣé mọ̀ pé bó ṣe rí lèmi máa ń tẹ̀lé ó dáa ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń ja yìí tán pátápátá a ní àwọn kò ṣe má ní mílìkì aṣaralóore mẹ́ta tó ti gba òǹtẹ̀ dídára dójú àmì látọ̀dọ̀ Friesland Campina Wamco Coast Milk Olympic Milk àti Nunu Milk ni mò ń sọ ṣé wá rí i pé ìgbádùn ti pọ̀ lè bíbà pẹ̀lú ìṣaralóore ẹ wò òṣùbà yín rèé fún yíyan Friesland Campina Wamco láàyò.
Friesland Campina, nourishing by nature.
Give my baby a double punch of artesunate and ammonia queen. An effective combination that Camosunate. There's anti-malaria therapy. And you will bounce back to life. Comes in 3 different packs for different age groups. Below 1 year, 1 to 6 years, 7 to 13 years. That's Camosunate.
Camosunate, effective anti-malarial for all ages. Marketed by Genesis Pharmaceuticals Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read the leaflets inside.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Awesomeness is now back on radio.
Are you serious?
In its freshest form on Slash 1055, the hottest frequency in the Southwest. You must have been hearing it. Continue. So I finally got back with my ex. Oh, I meant my first love, pardon me. Catch me, Edwin Paul, live on Splash Plus. Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. And Tuesdays, Drift Lounge, 10:30 p.m. till midnight with DJ AY. The Ace DJ with the touch of excellence. Only on Splash 105.5 FM. Oh, did I forget giveaway? Yes, of course, giveaway. The best of hit music and banter to keep you glued to your radio. That's how radio should sound anyway. Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. Tuesdays, 10:30 p.m. till midnight. The Integrity Station is about to get extra lit and funky vibe.
Madam, you look excited. Rushing somewhere.
So you haven't heard about the higher thermocool Jara Overload promo?
No, just me now.
You get free instant gifts like TV, blender, cooking oil, AC kits, and so many other exciting rewards when you buy select models of higher thermocool freezers, fridges, washing machine, generator, and standing cookers. No raffle, no draws.
No, I can't miss this.
Oh yes, the higher thermocool Jara Overload promo is available in all thermocool showrooms, Cool World, and key partner stores nationwide from June 17 to September 19, 2021. Terms and conditions apply. Higher thermocool, always there for you.
Aha! Capsule pass capsule, my people. Ibu cap capsule, not a pity pain. Whether na fever or body pain, malaria symptom or general pain. Ibu cap go hammer am one time. Ibu cap go hammer am sharp sharp. Body pain go vamoose one time. Body go tranga. Sam Ibu cap capsule.
Ibu cap capsule get gidigba 3-in-1 power to boost scatter body pain and fever with ogbonge alacrity. Ibu cap get paracetamol, caffeine plus ibuprofen. Now the 3 they join hand together to hammer and mama any pain. When pain or malaria symptoms show face for your side, just sama Ibu cap. Your body go tranga and kulele one time. Ibu cap with power of 3-in-1 is strong past pain. After 3 days, if your body no better, make you see a doctor. Now Shalina Healthcare Limited, they market am.
Big protein breakfast àṣírí ibẹ̀ nìyẹn. Bí ìyá mi máa ṣe ń jí láfẹ̀mọ́jú, wọ́n á se oúnjẹ fún wa kí wọ́n tó sáré lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́. Lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, bàbá wa máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ dalẹ́. Wọ́n sì tún jí lówùúrọ̀ láti gbé mi lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Kò wá sí bó ṣe lè di gádígádí tó. Kì í rẹ̀ wọ́n láti máa bá mi ṣeré. Ìdí ìrètí wọn kì í kúrò nílé láì jẹ big protein breakfast.
Bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ tó kún fún big protein. Amárata kébé.
Pig. Rich for your pig.
Amatem soft gel wà fún ìtọ́jú àrùn ibà tí ara rẹ kò bá yá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lọ rí dókítà rẹ.
Have you heard? There's a seasoning for every meal.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. So let's quickly go into it. We want you to call us. So once you call right now, we will be answering to your calls. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. Now, one of the things that people are also talking about concerning these southern governors coming together was the issue of security. Was it wrong? Someone is there. Hello.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Charles. I'm calling from Ibadan.
Charles, you have only 1 minute. Let's do this quickly.
Yeah, the information is that the Ogun State House of Assembly has passed the anti-open grazing law just today.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for that information.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. He just affirmed the fact that even the Ogun State government is already working on it. So
doing the needful.
Every one of them should do that. But let's come to the issue of security. Then I want to ask you: was it wrong for them to have said that if the federal agency is trying to do something within this enclave, that they should let the chief security officer be aware?
Except the governor is not the chief security officer. Except they want us to not hold them responsible if something happens. I know in some contacts where they are saying, you see now, with the governor, that's how they came to attack somebody. That kind of bloodshed happened to you, and you didn't know. You couldn't say anything. It makes whoever is in power in the state, whoever is in charge, it makes him look like a dummy. Really. And when you do such a thing, my challenge with especially the Igbo thing was that up till 10 hours after the issue happened, we were still saying unknown gunmen, until the DSS actually did a press briefing. It's a slap on the face of the chief security officer of that state. That's the truth. Something like that happened. I mean, we were seeing videos of blood on the floor, and they were still saying unknown gunmen. Really? If I were the governor, I'd be like...
So while we were trying to find out who did this, the governor was also find out.
The governor was also like us.
Can just imagine?
Trying to say, hey, you guys, kilo shele. When he should have information, you should have prior information. Just like you have military information. And Oyo State is strategic. Don't forget that you have a military headquarters in Ibadan here. You have a division.
There's a GOC there.
There's a 2 div there. And you begin to wonder, so I want to be very sure that the GOC would definitely have advanced information about this.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, Sean.
Good evening. Thank you for joining me and my team. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Mike from Iwo.
Welcome, Mike.
Yeah, good evening to Michael and Mr. Darrow. Well, for me, I think it's a welcome development for the South governors to come together and state all these things. I mean, these people don't just continue to keep people. If they kill the people, who's going to fight for them, maybe for their second term or for their next admission? I mean, it's just a welcome development for me, and I really like that. Because, I mean, I think I read the power by they were like, if they are the chief security officer, and I mean, they don't even know what's going to happen in their state. I mean, they should be briefing that if maybe the army is coming to it, which I'm quite pleased with for that kind of thing. But for me, just a welcome development for me, and for the note that filtrating. I don't know, despite the fact that we have 19, the North has more states more than Southern state. I don't know why they feel more threatened. They see the bulk of the allocations for them. I couldn't even understand why they feel threatened. And concerning the rotational presidency, well, Mr. Shea, for me, I don't believe that. Like Michael said, that the competition. I mean, you know, these people that will come out, they be running from the presidential debate. See, I mean, for me, I've formed in my mind that anybody that will be president of this country, if I'm going to vote in 2023, that person shouldn't be more than 55 years. You see, you can't just continue for people who are finding hard to have a grasp of reality. Look at what Barry is doing now, next is the theory. People who can't even have people understanding of technology. See, if all these people who are older than 55 are coming to power, all we keep having is just a dystopian society.
But you see, Mike, I feel you are stigmatizing old age. I mean, Biden is not young. He's not a young man.
See, why are you comparing Biden with Buhari?
I'm not. I'm just talking about septuagenarian. Now, should we stigmatize it?
The airful is far from the head. I mean, you see, when he was, there's this debate between him and Donald Trump, we just see intellectuality. I mean, pure forest from intellectuality. These people have ideas. Despite the fact they say journalists, but they have ideas. Our leaders, they don't have ideas. They are very myopic. I'm sorry to say. We can't keep continuing putting this kind of people.
You see, Mike, what I was saying was we should still be fine. Since you identify, that the Biden was cerebral, he was intellectual, we could find cerebral, intellectual personalities who are Africans, Nigerians, who are within that enclave of the septuagenarians. So
my question would be to you, Mr. Ashe, do we have in the South? Do we have? Can't you just give me names? Now I'm hearing of all these what is it called? This match of this man, Tinubu match. For me, I don't even believe this can do the job. For me, I just don't believe in it. So for me, anybody that's going to be more than 55 years, it just, for me, keep doing the same thing. It's just like a serious circle.
Okay, Mike. Thank you. I mean, thank you so much. I appreciate your call and your contribution. Very, very germane and important. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I was just trying to, extend the argument, really.
The Sorosoke generation does not believe.
I just trying to extend it.
There's a Paul Biya in Cameroon now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who is here? Let's see. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Splash Rendezvous.
Thank you, too. What is the position of the governors that said they don't want anybody in their this thing again? Or what is it called? Okay, now I want to say something. If the president goes ahead to support open grazing, what will the governors do? How will they stop him? That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. My guys will definitely have a contribution to that. Let's see who is here. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is easy.
Welcome.
Yeah, there's something I discovered. I think our southern governors, I've not seen them disunited before, but I think some of them are tied between ambition and service to their people. Those who still have a term, second term, are they assertive in their plan ahead with others? That's the question, because when it comes to being a traitor and the betrayal, you can't write that off. So if they are moving together, and you have some of them who are in APC and they are looking forward to the second term, how will it work? That's my question. It's really something I don't understand.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. We still want to have you join us. Let's see how many could still be part of the conversation this evening. 0809-155-1055, 0805-699-8678. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
To move away from your radio set so that we can have a smooth conversation.
Okay. I'm from Ibadan here.
What's the name, sir?
My name is Oladele Idera.
Oladele Idera. Let's do this quickly.
Okay. My own contribution is this. I want to ask the question that you said that the governors, they have come together. I didn't really understand, because I see that they are still killing people in this Jebu Road every day. So what are they doing concerning this issue? So that's what I want people to discuss on. The governor should stop and do something for us.
What? Let me put it to you. What do you want them to do, really?
It seems that they are too slow for me. It seems like that, because they are killing people every day, and they have not done anything concerning it. They are just coming meeting today, meeting tomorrow. We didn't see something tangible from it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I understand you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, gentlemen, before another call comes on, let's look at some of the issues that they've raised. We can start. Okay, let's see. Who's here? Hello? Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you for joining us. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Femi Ojo is my name. I'm calling from Ibadan.
Very familiar name. Welcome.
All right, thank you. Firstly, I'd like to state that the essence of setting up Amotekun in the first place has failed, and I feel this should be reviewed. Because I felt initially we thought Amotekun should be in the forest and actually manage those areas, keeping all these killer headsmen at bay and stopping them from even carrying out all these nefarious acts. But what we see today is we see Amotekun on the street, we see them settling disputes, marital disputes, we see them controlling traffic, we see them doing patrol within the town. While ordinarily we feel they should be in all our forests. So for me, I think they should be reviewed and actually looked into. Then secondly, it is about, at the moment, I think it has become a northern and southern agenda in Nigeria, in which we begin to see the northern elites take a position, while the south take as well. So I feel it is at this point, we should actually define the essence of this togetherness. Is it worth it anymore? That's my take. Thank you.
Brilliant take. Thank you so much. That already said them. In fact, one of the first statements that were made was that they're coming together to put up Amotekun. I mean, that's
the truth. That's the truth. I've had the opportunity to interact with Colonel Togun recently, very recently. The truth is, he's a military general. He was in charge of DMI. You know, he subtly said he's not confident sending his boys into those bushes with just bare hands or one shotgun. That's the truth. That's the whole truth.
Who would?
I mean, so you expect, I mean, you go and face some of them carry AK-49, not just 47. Those guys in the bush, AK-49. One single bullet, if you line 3 people, it can pass through them. And so somebody will now come with one ding gun, cock and shoot. Suku. While you are, while you are trying to get you are gone. I mean, so really, to a very large extent, except we want to deceive ourselves, the governors know whether it will be Agu or Amotekun. They know that the truth is, as it is, as the way the situation is right now, they cannot achieve much. They know.
Okay, we have to take this break. When we come back after the news, we'll continue with this discussion. Stay with us, don't go away. It's still Splash Rendezvous.
Splash FM 105.5.
From the top of the Fisher Building. This is
number one hit music station.
Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station.
We've got the city on lockdown. Got my own city that I hold down.
We are Splash 105.5. We educate, that's why we are respected. We inform, that's why we are loved. More music, we are the best. The Integrity Station. Splash.
105.5. Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on News Highlight at 6 p.m. on Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. The Ogun State House of Assembly has passed a bill to regulate animal grazing and establishment of cattle ranches in designated grazing areas in the state. Sponsor of the bill, Mr. Ganiyu Oyedeji, presented the report of the Committee on Agriculture and Forestry during plenary in Abeokuta. Oyedeji moved the motion for the adoption of the report, seconded by Shola Adams and supported by the whole House. A section of the bill prescribed a 3-year jail term without an option of fine, including the forfeiture of the herds of cattle or livestock under his or her control to the state government, except within the permitted ranches. The Speaker ordered that the clean copy of the bill be forwarded to Governor Dapo Abiodun for his assent. The federal government has said that airline operators in the country must refund the full cost of travel tickets to passengers after a 2-hour delay. Minister of Aviation Hadi Sirika made this known today at the weekly State House briefing in Aso Villa, Abuja. He read some of the rights of aviation passengers at the briefing and charged them to demand their rights whenever they are being trampled upon by airlines. The minister who said his ministry has started sanctioning some airlines who default on consumer rights, however, urged passengers not to be unruly at airports. The UN International Children's Emergency Fund says it has signed an agreement with Janssen Pharmaceutical to supply an additional 220 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson single-dose vaccine to all 55 member states of the African Union by the end of 2022, increasing the total number of doses to 400 million. This was disclosed in a statement issued by UNICEF today. Recall that the African Union had in November 2020 established the African Vaccine Acquisition Trust to deliver COVID-19 vaccines to the African continent. UNICEF, Afrexim Bank, AVAT, African Center for Disease Control, and the World Bank had signed an agreement which will ensure the procurement and delivery of vaccines to African nations. An agreement signed in March this year had implemented the procurement of 180 million COVID-19 vaccines, which will also be delivered by 2022. At least 14 people have been kidnapped following an attack by bandits at Ongwan Matari within the Sabun Tasha Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. Among the victims were a landlord and some of his tenants. The bandits were said to have invaded the community, which is adjoining Baji Villa towards Romi River, at about 11 p.m. on Wednesday night. Upon their arrival, the marauders started shooting sporadically, breaking fences and windows in a bid to gain access into the houses of the residents they kidnapped. The attack is coming barely 3 days after over 121 students of Bethel Baptist School, also in Chikun local government area, were abducted by bandits. And to the foreign scene, a deadly gun battle between police and the men suspected of assassinating Haiti's president, Jovenel Moise, has been raging in Port-au-Prince. Police Chief Leon Charles said 4 suspects had been killed and 2 detained, but some remained at large, and a manhunt was still underway. Mr. Moise, aged 53, was fatally shot, and his wife was injured when the attackers stormed their home early on Wednesday. Police Chief Charles described dramatic scenes as officers confronted their late assassins. EU pressure on Hungary has intensified over a new law banning the depiction or promotion of homosexuality, for the under-18s. MEPs are expected to vote shortly for a resolution urging the EU to speed up legal action over Hungary's law. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said the law was a disgrace which contradicted basic EU values. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban hit back, saying school policy was a matter for Hungary, not Brussels bureaucrats. And finally, sports news. The Olympic Games in Japan are to be held without spectators due to rising cases of coronavirus. Olympics Minister Tamayo Marakuawa made the announcement following discussions with officials and organizers today. A state of emergency in Tokyo will run throughout the Games to combat coronavirus. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga told reporters it will run from 12th July and remain in place until 22nd August. And UEFA has charged England after a laser pointer was erected at Denmark keeper Kasper Schmeichel during Wednesday's Euro 2020 semi-final at Wembley. Television pictures showed a green light on Schmeichel just before Harry Kane took an extra-time penalty. Schmeichel saved the spot kick, but Kane scored a rebound as England won 2-1 to reach Sunday's final against Italy. England are also charged with causing a disturbance during Denmark's national anthem and setting off fireworks. And that ends the 6 p.m. news highlight for today. I'm Oluwaseun Akinola. Splash Wonderful is coming up thereafter. Do stay with us.
Quick, Charger 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station. We educate, that's why we are respected. We inform, that's why we are loved. More music, we are the best. The Integrity Station. Splash, splash.
105.5.
When we say we're committed to giving you more, here's what we mean. We mean going the extra mile to ensure you have the best customer experience. In fact, if you make an instant transfer and it fails, we will reverse it in 1 business day or refund 5 times the transaction fees. You get that? A reversal on failed instant transfers in 1 business day, or we will refund 5 times the transaction fees. Now, that's how committed we are to giving you more. Access, more than banking.
Them say your ginger, now pepper them style. Show them say you sabi your legwork moves. Beba there, get there as it is hot with extra spice. Oh shit, with the confirmed taste of bold ginger. Show them your ginger.
Bold ginger, now the confirmed soft drink. We get spicy taste that keeps you refreshed. Bold soft drink also there for orange, tropical, and bitter lemon flavor for all your jolliment. Bold ginger, show your ginger.
Hey, my guy, imagine say entertainment na serve yourself. Wetin you go carry?
Oh yeah, now put football. Garnish am with BB Naija.
Wow.
Add Africa magic. Then top am with better international shows.
You too like better.
So price to enter GoTV don low now for inside Biggie Goals promo. GoTV decoder and GoTenna with 1 month max subscription wey be 9,500 naira before don reduce to 6,900 naira. See discount from 9,500 naira to 6,900 naira. Now you fit enjoy football, BB Naija, and plenty more. Biggie Goals promo now for you. This offer no go tell. GoTV, love it.
Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà, èyí ni àwọn àmọ̀ràn 5 ní ṣókí tí ẹ lè fi dá ìròyìn tí kò lóòótọ́ nínú mọ̀ yàtọ̀ sí èyí tí ó jẹ́ òótọ́. Àkọ́kọ́, yẹ orísun rẹ̀ wò. Ìkejì, ṣàwárí àwọn orísun mìíràn. Ó kéré tán, o gbọ́dọ̀ rí ojúlówó orísun méjì tí ó gbé ìròyìn náà kí o tó gbà á gbọ́ tàbí fi ránṣẹ́ sí ẹlòmíràn. Ìkẹta, ṣèwádìí àròkọ tàbí ìròyìn náà. Tí o bá ṣe ń ṣe iyèméjì, tún kà dáadáa. Wo ọjọ́ tí a kọ, bóyá kò tíì pẹ́. Ìkẹrin, bẹ̀ Africa Check wò lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára. Tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kan bá ti tàn jálé-jákò, ó ṣeé ṣe kí ọ̀kan nínú àwọn iléeṣẹ́ tí ó ń yẹ òtítọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ bíi Africa Check ti ṣàyẹ̀wò rẹ̀. Ìkarùn-ún, tí o kò bá lè ṣàrídájú tó mọ́yán lórí nípa àròkọ kan, ó dára kí o yẹra fún. dípò fífi ránṣẹ́ sí ẹlòmíràn. Àmọ̀ràn yín wá láti ọwọ́ Africa Check. Fún àmọ̀ràn kíkún, darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí WhatsApp ní 090-8377-7789. Tẹ̀lé wa lórí Twitter, Instagram àti Facebook ní @africacheck_ng.
Ohun tó yẹni ló yẹni, ìrọ̀rùn ló yẹ àwọn oníbàárà wa. Nítorí náà, ní ìgbàkúùgbà tí o bá fi owó ránṣẹ́ láti ilé ìfowópamọ́ Access sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ mìíràn tí owó náà lọ, lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ la ó fún ọ ní owó rẹ padà tàbí ká dá owó tí a máa ń gbà lórí ìfowóránṣẹ́ padà fún ọ lẹ́ẹ̀márùn-ún. Èyí túmọ̀ sí wípé ní gbogbo ìgbà tí a bá fi owó ránṣẹ́ tí kò lọ rárá fún ìdí kan tàbí òmíràn, lọ́jọ́ náà la ó dá gbogbo owó rẹ padà o. Tí a kò bá dá padà ní ọjọ́ kan, a ó fún ọ ní ìlọ́po 5 owó tí a bá gbà lórí ìfowóránṣẹ́ rẹ. Ìdí nìyí tí a fi ń fọwọ́ sọ̀yà wípé ìrọ̀rùn ẹ̀yin oníbàárà wa ló jẹ wá lógún o. Access ó ju ìfowópamọ́ lọ.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. It's still Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. We're glad that you could still be there with us on the program. Let's move on to the next issue. Electoral Act Amendment Bill. We're looking at reference to the issue of electronic voting and transmission of results. I know that we've started to favor technology in our electoral process, and Dayo, you will also be able to shed more light on this one. We started off by looking at a credible register, and then we went on to have a permanent voter card.
Exactly,
it's chipped in such a way that you can read the data and authenticate who is actually voting. Recently, just this last month, INEC started online registration, where you start your registration and then you conclude it with biometric capturing. That's also an infusion of technology in the process. So why does it seem as if we are afraid of, I don't know why I use the word actually, why does it seem that we do not favor electronic voting? Also, electronic transmission of results.
Exactly.
Why does it seem there is an element or there is a set of people who do not want this to happen?
I think the bone of contention for me really is that transmission, electronic transmission of results. This is 2021, for God's sake.
Okay.
Why do we like this stress? I mean, I observed the last election, we'll go from polling units to ward to local government, and then local government, you now go to state secretariat. For what?
And sorry for cutting you. The one that got me was, I mean, people are seeing on Facebook the way a professor will be battling with figures.
Exactly.
They had to
I've been reading it. Who wrote these numbers?
They had to bring floodlight. I can't see.
And with ruler, and it will be tracing
your own personal handwriting.
Come on.
So it smacks of fraud. That's just it. And we can avoid this by just embracing what we have tested. They used it in Ondo State, and it worked perfectly.
They used it in Edo.
Exactly.
They even
was it Edo or Ondo? It was Edo. I sat down in my house. I was checking results in my house here in Ibadan. Per polling unit, you could go to directly. They just tell you sign in with. And I signed in my house in Akobo, 7 p.m. after they concluded the election, and I was looking at the results right there, live and direct. This thing works. So why are we against it? Except certain people who know that they probably will never be able to have won an election except they, manage the results. I observed the particular election, 2019 elections, the presidential election. I noticed something in the local government that I was in charge of. Somewhere in Lagelu local government. I won't mention that location. I was accredited as a roaming observer, so I could move within local governments. So I told the core members, 2 of them that were there, that this result, I'm interested. So I took a snap of their Form E, whatever, the yellow one like this, that they would share copy. They even gave me a personal copy. I said, don't worry. I said, that original one that you use your biro to write. I said, I'm interested in that one, not this copy that everybody. So I snapped it. I checked my time. They finished early. As at 5:15, we were done there. So I told the person that we're moving together, I said, can we get to that word? He said, we're going, it will be night. I said, let's just try. Let's try. So we went to the ward. When we got there, everybody got there. In fact, we got there before our own presiding officer. By the time we got there, everybody go out. I said, I'm an observer. I showed them, okay, so they allowed me. Just sit down in that corner. Right in front of my eyes, right there. The lady who was the presiding officer presented her own. And I saw some people come in and they were discussing. It's also party. I won't mention the party. It's also party that wins in this place. So we know. I'm telling you, point blank. It's also party that wins in this place. And there's light went off. By the time light came back, and they were saying, okay, so they were now calling them one by one. I now moved close. I said, okay, they will soon collate. I was only interested in the results of the polling unit I observed. By the time I got close, it was a different party that won. Of course, I had it on my phone, so it's not that I wrote it down. So by the time I got close, I knew I was a lone person. I just walked out of there.
Oh, that's
I know my children are still small. So I just walked out and I told the guy that brought me, can we please leave right now? Now that was just between polling unit and ward. Imagine what could happen again between the ward and the local governments.
No, Dayo, that's exactly why those who do not feel that we are ripe for this are saying that can't this be exposed to the hush puppy way? Or those who are hackers who probably could hack, anything. Someone on my show yesterday said, as important as secured as many of the unemployment websites in the US is, guys still got way into it and did benefit for their people.
True. Well, I would not sit down here and say it's impossible it's internet. But then, of course, this is election. If we would devote as much money as needed, we can secure it.
Okay.
We can.
Okay. So, Michael, I want to do something for you here. It's the Punch newspaper 2 days back. Coalition of Civil Society Organizations on Tuesday in Abuja expressed worries over Clause 50 and Clause 88 in the electoral bill currently being amended in the National Assembly. Clause 52 of the bill states that voting at an election under this bill shall be in accordance with the procedure determined by the Commission, INEC, which may include electronic voting, provided that the Commission shall not transmit the results of elections by electronic means. Why don't we want electronic means transmission? That's one. Second thing is that, like I said, this is 2021. Why do we think manual is still the way?
Yeah, we think manual is still the way because we're still thinking like people stuck in the 17th century. Even Kaduna State experimented with this e-voting. And, Kaduna State is still in Nigeria, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why is it difficult for us to adopt and adapt and improve upon what we have?
Michael, I doubt if the governor of Kaduna State will try that again. I doubt.
Okay, but the point is that it allows for openness. It allows for transparency. It allows us to also beat the 17th century trap of the. So this is what I wrote down, that the manual that we used to have is still is old, archaic, cumbersome and expensive. We're talking about the professor who had problems reading what he wrote. So when we were looking at the results, when they were bringing the results, let's use Edo State as an example.
I remember.
So you found that we had collated at the center, we had collated about 12, 13 local governments, and then we were waiting for the result. See, this is 21st century. Go back to what that you are saying. This is 21st century. Do you have to wait Oh, you remember those days when we used to have, this our analog banking. Imagine that I just wrote a check of 5,000 naira for you, and it's my bank Ilorin branch, and I wrote another because I want to punish you. I wrote another 5,000 naira and say Badagry branch. Imagine the trouble. In fact, sometimes we'll just say, okay, keep the money, I don't want it. But today you can walk out of this gate. You can walk out of this gate and possess your account. Why is it that we found it easy, to do all those? But when it comes to a one-day election, we cannot put all that effort into it to make it cleaner and better. I still find it difficult to understand what goes on in the mind of those who are trying to block, the use of technology. When the world is going technology, when the world is going artificial intelligence and the rest of it, we are still trying to do what our great-great-great-great-grandfathers used to do. No, we need to move forward. So those people are essentially those you'd like to describe as nation wreckers. They are the people who want to pull us back. They want to pull us back. That's why. So we have to, just like the civil society groups are saying, the media also have to put up a campaign to insist on cleaning the electoral process, and e-voting, e-transmission is the way.
I hope that we'll be able to stop the use of incidence forms.
Exactly. Now, somebody's name is not on the list. I saw it several times the last election.
Go back home.
Several places. Somebody will just come with a card and they will check. They will try. Sometimes they even try it with the card reader. It will not work.
They will clean the card. They will insert it again.
This guy is not supposed to vote. Then I say, okay, bring out the incidents and say for what? Should this guy vote? He should not vote.
INEC should also make sure that every card
end incidents form. That's it.
All right. Human interference in the process has always been a problem. And it sometimes results in lack of transparency. We see inefficiency, lack of accountability, and undermining the credibility of the entire process. True. And all of this could be mitigated against through the use of technology.
Just leverage technology.
We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Splash FM 105.5.
Tolú báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Ó jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣìkàfà níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti tasọ́sàn ẹ̀ lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló sè é. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó o nílò fádùn àti tasọ́sàn tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Turn it up. Let's turn it up. Turn it up with Big B Live.
Sọ pé mo dúpẹ́ mo rí àánú gbà.
The 11th edition is coming to Jogger Center, Liberty Road, Ibadan, on the 25th of July, 2021. Come join Big B alongside Joe Praise, Chigoze Wisdom, Adeyinka Alashiyori, Timi Dakolo, Kayode Oluwayomi Iben, and a host of others as we lift our praises to the Most High. Special presence, Pastor Austin Ologbese. Also featuring Dr. Smile, Woli Agba, Habib Benyin, MCBBO, and many more. You stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Raffle entry ticket is 1,000 Naira only. For table bookings and inquiries, call 080-710-40087. Mark your calendars. 4 p.m. on the 25th of July, 2021. Come join us for the 11th edition of Turn It Up with Big B Live. We move.
Different days, different roads. All not to hammer. Keep going and spice up your hustle. Introducing the new Gala Spicy. It's big, meaty, tasty, with that special Niger spicy flavor. Try it today. Available for 100 Naira only. Gala Spicy. Spice up your hustle.
Now the new level. Where sample your ticket. From Baskin to Yesterday's gone today. Keep me a lucky day. For Baskin.
personally, if you see full-fledged man, he's tall, he's dark, he's handsome, and then you're like, wow, he's got sex appeal. And then you find out that this man is a virgin. How would you feel?
There must be a reason. I don't like to jump into conclusions. I like to listen.
So you don't find it strange?
Not really.
Okay, so wait, in conclusion now, you can actually marry a man that is a virgin.
Marry is different.
The X Thursday show is back. Join K Boogie and Josh Smooski on the X Thursday show. Catch the new season every Thursday from 12 midnight. It's a no-holds-barred show with topics around love, sex, and relationships. The X Thursday show, a burst of information, education, and entertainment. Every Thursday midnight is a time to grab a glass of your favorite beverage, relax, and enjoy the ride. On the X Thursday show. This show is not suitable for persons under the age of 18 years.
How come we are waiting on the men to be experienced? Are the women not supposed to be experienced as well?
Iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná a máa fúnni ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ a sì máa mú ìdẹ̀rùn wá láti wá dènà ìjàmbá iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná. Ojúlówó wáyà tàbí kébù ló yẹ ká fi fa iná nínú ilé, lọ́fíìsì àti nínú ìlú. Pure wires and cables ní àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ mọ̀nàmọ́ná àti àwọn agbaṣẹ́ṣe yàn láàyò. Ojúlówó ni, kì í bó lára, kò kì í jóná àbàdì, kì í kán sínú, ó sì fi ni lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Ìdí nìyí tí Standard Organization of Nigeria fi fòun tẹ̀tẹ̀ tí Nigeria Electrical Contractors náà fi dìbò fún. Bí copper cable ṣe wà ní aluminium cable ń bẹ nípele lówó tí kò gún pa. Pure wires and cables tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Kaman ló ṣe ojúlówó wires and cable jáde. Olú iléeṣẹ́ Pure wires and cables limited wà ní Afrin's compound Fort Gate No. 122/132 Oṣòdì Apapa Expressway Ìyànà Ìsọlọ̀ bus stop Lagos. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní 080-803-03257. Pure wires and cables. Ìrọ̀rùn fi iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná.
Have you heard? There's a seasoning for every meal, yeah. On the seasoning is full of flavor, yeah. Delicious, tasty, yeah. Mama's happy day, lo. Alelelelelelele, my hunger. Rich flavor, aroma, delicious, yeah. Mama's happy day, the fresh cookie, yeah. Bring great flavor, sweet hunger.
No Wakamis Rodo. Proco get paracetamol and phenylephrine for effective relief from cold and catarrh within 20 minutes. Now, Orange Drugs Limited distributor. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Procode, now better medicine.
Take Procode. Take Procode. Take Procode.
You don't wait so tey and now they don't break the padlock comot. Open big gate make you fit join MTN, the ogbonge yellow family wey get network for Naija wey no dey fall hand. Just waka enter any MTN store wey they don select, buy your tier rubber MTN SIM, make you sef turn up better airtime and data awoof on top the yellow network. Oh yeah, kia run go buy your MTN SIM today o. Visit mtnonline.com/sim to touch like the store where dem dey sell SIM near you.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
My family don't finish me with surprise this period, oh. Junior, your shoe.
I don't polish them, Mama.
Ella, the plates them won't come.
I don't wash them, Mama.
Even my husband, they don't go ready the children for school.
08056998719 08056998720. Adebayo Akode Hall. Built for comfort. Built for you.
Ọ̀gá panel mo ti gbé ọkọ̀ mi dé fún àtúnṣe gbogbo ara o.
Ẹ wò máa ṣe mọ́tò yìí ó máa dàbí agbárí mi.
irú kọ́ yóò dára rárá o kí ló ń ṣe nípa ẹ̀.
ọgbọ́n fẹ́ lọ sílé ìwòsàn ni kí wọ́n má bàa sọ fún ọ wípé wọ́n ní àìsàn COVID-19.
rárá o ikọ́ ń ṣe àfihàn fún oríṣiríṣi àìsàn ni ikọ́ fi pàápàá wà lára wọn tó bá lọ sí àyẹ̀wò nìkan ló lè mọ irú ikọ́ tó jẹ́ pàtó.
wúkọ́ ìbáyọ̀ ti kọjá ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì ṣùgbọ́n tí n bá lọ sílé ìwòsàn sí i.
kò sí bẹ̀rù kankan panẹ̀ wọ́n ti ṣe àyẹ̀wò tá à ń wí yìí rí ó ní láti kọ́kọ́ ṣe àyẹ̀wò láti lè mọ ìtọ́jú tó tọ́nà fún irú ikọ́ tó ní.
ọ̀gá ẹ lọ ṣàyẹ̀wò kẹ́ lè mọ̀ dájú o.
nítorí ẹni tí kò bá lọ kó lè mọ̀.
ẹ yẹ ikọ́ yẹn wò fún ikọ́ ife.
ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀wọ̀n ká mọ ohun tí ń ṣe.
Tí o bá ní ikọ́ tó ti lo ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì láì kásẹ̀ nílẹ̀, ó lè jẹ́ ikọ́ ife o. Ọ̀fẹ́ láyẹ̀wò àti ìtọ́jú ikọ́ ife. Fún àlàyé ibi tí o ti lè ṣe àyẹ̀wò ikọ́ ife, pè nọ́mbà kan sí orílẹ̀ fún ìtọ́jú ikọ́ ife ní 3340. Ìkéde ìwá látọ̀dọ̀ ilé-iṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn ará ìlú Amẹ́ríkà.
Tolú báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Ó jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣèkáfá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti tasọ́sàn ẹ̀ lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló sè é. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fádùn àti tasọ́sàn tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Welcome back. Thank you for being there. Do you support electronic voting, electronic transmission of voting? Do you think our election or electoral process requires more transparency, more efficiency, accountability, and also credibility? What do you say? Well, I've got a good news for you. Splash FM, they call them Akade Bombers, defeated the NUJ team by 3-0. Wow. And it was a hat trick done by Omomi, the striker.
Okay, now. I hope you got to take the ball home as a prize. That's a good one. That's a good one.
He netted the ball twice.
Wow.
That was a great one. Wow. Congratulations to NUJ. Congratulations to Splash FM. We're proud of both of you. At least they came out to do the novelty. It was a novelty match.
At least some of us played it in our dreams. Right?
You said you played in your mind. I mean, how could you be playing? How could you be playing in your mind, Michael? I wish Tunde would join us. I saw him earlier. If I'm able to bring him on. He also was striking there. I mean, did a good job.
Alex Ferguson, right there.
He did a good job there today. All right, so let's go back. I was asking if you, as you listen, favor electronic transmission of results and electronic voting. Would there be some downside of these issues? Let's not be emotional. I know Michael wants to say one or two things about this, but Dayo, we have a lot of places in Nigeria today where the network service is not effective. What will happen to those places as we look at it? Even in the urban center, I know days where, I remember I was discussing with Michael that, I had two options. I had two options of internet providers. And there are days where I'll be frustrated because, I couldn't be on the
just
internet.
Not work.
Yeah. Do you understand? Even right now, I have to go bring in the Wi-Fi to start to browse because of what is happening to my... So I'm saying that, do we have a downside to this route if we're taking it?
I wouldn't even call it a downside.
What can we do about it?
Network problem is, this is 2021. There are several ways by which you can solve that. The card readers can come pre-chipped with services that could connect anytime, anywhere. These are things, people use walkie-talkies. There are several ways by which you can get a device for that day that will connect to a satellite. To just work like a sat phone. As you are there, you are connecting directly. They can use an intranet. It does not have to be internet.
No. Yes.
These are simple ways. The INEC can work on good money, spend some good money, have your own server and have your own intranet. Deploy it across the country and ensure that your result is very possible. We don't even have to use the regular internet that we know. It doesn't have to be like that. So that's why I said if we deploy enough resources, decide to focus, okay, can we deploy money? Kaduna election held now. There are several remote places in Kaduna. They had elections. And the necessary people won. We can do this as a nation if we truly want to do it. It's the political will. The question is, do we have that political will to walk it through?
We can, and we should do it. Because, number one, it will protect the integrity of the election. For instance, there will be less violence. You know that when they are voting, there's usually
it's always peaceful.
When they are counting and collating, that's when you have problems. Number two, it will cut the time that we have to wait for results. Number three, it would also make the election less vulnerable to manipulation, which is my number one indeed, because that's the integrity aspect of election, is that it should be how you the Yorubas will say "Irejo photo," but that's what you should have. You should have, if 1 million people voted for somebody, you will get 1 million people when you are announcing the results. It will not be one short and one minus and the rest of it. These things, we have to do it. And just like Dio said, you see, you can deploy the satellite, you can deploy the intranet. All these things are there for us. And so the point that you should be even be talking about is that, why do you have this clause inserted into the amendment of the Electoral Act? It still boils down to the fact that some powerful people in power are not interested in, or are interested in stopping people from challenging them. And therefore, you even have the benefit of examples from places like Uganda and the rest of it, when the internet is shut down. So people who are looking at, you can shut down the internet now, have already scored a point, scored a preliminary point by shutting down the Twitter, and then nothing has happened. So you can as well, be expecting that one election like that, and somebody will get angry and say, we're shutting down the internet. So they may be envisaging that the internet might be shut down one day. So let's just remove this thing from the Electoral Act so that nobody will be able to go to court and claim this place as a basis for asking the court to maybe upturn or maybe ask for a rerun and the rest of it. You never can tell.
Okay, 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, 0706 949 3000. The numbers you can call, and let's join us here. Let's talk. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Sadu Modagwe.
Yes, you see, we are wonderful people in this part of the world. We cooperate even on corruption. Now, you cannot see any party that will come out to say no. This electronic transmission should stay. So it is very surprising that even now, Ahmed Lawa said that they are going to put it to vote. That people, yes or no, will go to vote on the day on the issue. So I think we should call on our representatives that this thing must stay. We need to appeal it, and people vote should count. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sado Imodagbe. Right. I mean, that analogy is good. So we all cry about corruption, we cry about manipulation, but when it comes to what can at least put a check on it, we're dragging our foot, at that. Okay, so let's see. Whoever is there, you can join us. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. It's about 2 weeks now that the governor of your state. Hello.
Good
evening, sir.
Elijah Salam from Coca-Cola.
Go, Elijah Abdul Salam, joining us. Let's talk.
Yeah, you see, I'm very sad with the situation of things in the country. Because why? Since the government came on board in 2015, I look at the indices in all the sectors, and I see that things are getting worse day by day, week by week. But nothing is moving. And I don't know. I'm confused because instead of making things better, they are getting worse. And they promise a lot. They promise ever hard. And it is sad they are not able to get education health, security, electoral reform, what have you? Everything is in shambles. God help us.
Thank you very much. God help us. Alaji from Coca-Cola. You can still be part of it. We would like to hear from you as well. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, at 0706 949 3000. So while we await your calls, we will take on the next issue very quickly. We still have two more issues to look at quickly. First of these last issues is the fact that the governor dissolved his cabinet, 17 commissioners. And in these 2 weeks, all he had been able to do is give us the name of a new chief of staff. And how long will it take for us to have the executive council back? Michael?
Okay, number one, I thought that when the governor decided to, dissolve his cabinet, I thought that he should have had, a plan B, with him. So as to, first of all, know those whom he'd like to return, and do that maybe after 2-3 days, ask them to maybe go back to the House of Assembly for screening. And then
they didn't need to be screened.
They even need to just reshuffle and the rest of it. And then those that you have asked to go home, their replacement should have been ready rarely.
That's it. Who is here? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, I just want to contribute on the issue of the internet voting.
What's your name, sir? What's your name?
My name is Temulua.
Welcome, Temulua.
Yeah, yes. So, about somebody mentioned the fact that some people might be disenfranchised if it go with internet voting and stuff. But then I feel like INEC already has everything they need. They already have a database of all registered users. And so the whole internet voting thing is not going to completely exclude the people in the rural areas. They can still go with the manual voting for people in the rural areas, but there should also be the option of people for people that can use the internet to be able to vote from their homes. Because we saw in the last election, just about 25 million people voted. There are so many reasons why people did not come out to vote. Sometimes people have issues with the security of the polling unit and things like that. People just want a place to vote from the convenience of their house and be sure that their votes will count. So I feel like both the manual and the electronic voting can go hand in hand.
Thank you, Temulua. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right, so great contribution there. So you were saying that he should have had his replacement ready.
Exactly.
Before he went on the dissolution.
Exactly. Before dissolving the cabinet, he should have had, some names on the table to say, okay, I'm going to remove this, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to replace with this. We should have that on ground, because the cabinet essentially is supposed to be assembled to assist the chief executive or whoever is, whether it's governor or president, to actualize the plans that he had. So if you have plans that already is in limbo because you cannot quickly assemble the people who have the requisite skill and the experience to help you to realize it, then you will be keeping the plan in your pocket and you will not be putting it to the table.
The argument has always been that the permanent secretaries are there, they will be doing the job. But will this be acceptable, say, in a corporate, to dissolve the management team and then the chief executive officer stays alone and running things until
it's not right. Let's just say it as it is.
When the central bank dissolved the management, the board of First Bank, what did they do? Immediately. That's what you should do.
Why don't we do that in governance?
I want to think. I don't know the governor's thoughts right now, but I want to believe he did some reshuffling sometimes last year. Moved some people from one point. So this is most likely not about a reshuffling. Dissolving the cabinet, I think so. And that will most likely take time. Wow. Because most likely, if it's a wholesale decision, they will have to go through a process. And that process cannot be rushed.
My question, Dayo, is why didn't we start the process
early enough
before the announcement of the dissolution? why didn't the back and forth, the under the table, or the alliance and the alignment, whatever the
should
case
have been done earlier?
Yes.
Well, again, I don't know the governor's mind, but one thing that would have helped